everyone, it's Anne here, and I must apologise for my finger. Looks like I've seriously injured it. I wish I could say I did it doing something heroic, but all as it is was the rubber glove was leaking when I was dyeing fabrics this morning, so I'm sorry for that, just please ignore it. Right, today I'm going to do a little bookbinding without using any staples or any stitches or any glue. Just going to use paper. So I'm going to need some paper to bind together, and I'm just going to fold it in half. Now this is a bit of a fiddly thing to do, so you're going to need lots of patience. But I'm just going to do 4, but you can make as many pages together as you like, and you can adjust, you'll see what I mean, you can adjust the amount of folds you put in the paper as you go. I'll show you what I mean with about that. Just going to put these together, and I'm going to punch a hole in them. Now, to make sure I get the hole in the same place on all of them, just gather them together like that. I'm going to use this punch cradle, but if you haven't got one, you could just use some kind of pokey stabby thing, even a darning needle, and a mouse mat or something soft underneath. And I'm just going to guesstimate where I want it, so I'll put a hole about there and another one. Where's my piece of paper? Here. One about there. Sorry, I should have mentioned that in the first place. That you're going to need another strip of paper, and you need to make the holes just slightly wider than the strip of paper. Okay, and take your paper and fold it up in a concertina. Like so. Okay, now the thing to look for is you're going to need as many concertina folds as you have pages. I've only got 3 there, so I'm going to do another one if I'm going to do 4 pages. And what you need to end up with is, when you put the paper down on the flat on the desk like that, put those flappy bits directly on the table, and then you need as many folds as you have pages. You can see that I've got 4 folds, so I put that flat on the table and I got 4 folds. Just going to trim that off so that it looks the same as the other side. Okay, now taking the papers and a filthy old cutting mat, which I seem to have misplaced. There we go. Get a knife and a ruler and cut a line. I do them one at once to make sure I get them fairly exact. Where those 2 holes are that we made with the pokey stick, just cut between those 2 holes, a straight line, so that you've got a slit like this. You can see that. next one. Okay, so now we've got the 4 papers with a slot cut down the middle that is the same width as the piece of paper we made into a concertina fold. Right, now taking the papers one at a time, going to take one of the folds and poke it through the paper, like so. And then I'm going to get another piece of, well, I'm using card, it's a bit stronger than the paper, which I've already cut, and this needs to be the same width as your fold, less a little bit, so these are about 1.5 centimetres. I'm going to cut it to a point, make it easier to thread through. Like that. I'm going to take the next one, poke that through, like I say, this is very fiddly, but it's also satisfying, the fact that you can make a book without any glues or staples or anything. You're just using the same card. There's 2. Sorry, I'm old thumbs, it would help if I put my glasses on. I'm always getting in trouble for not wearing my glasses. Finally. And the last one. Okay. Right. As you can see, we've got them all together. I'm just going to apply a little bit of glue. I did say there was no glue needed, but I'm just going to glue down those flaps like that. And trim off those. Okay, so what we're left with is a book that's bound together just using paper, like so. And you could then go ahead and put some card on either side, and you could even put a piece of fabric or webbing or something, glue it down over there on the spine to give it some extra strength. Alright, I did do one earlier and I put 2 in, which if you're doing a bigger book, it makes more sense to do 2 concertinas. I think this one needed two, but two is a bit fiddly for me to show on the film. So you can do two or as many as you want, depending on the size of your pages that you want to bind together. Anyway, it was just a novel way of doing things. Alright, I thank you very, very much for watching, and I will catch you again very soon in the next video. Have fun crafting. Bye for now.